DeepSeek just released their new AI model, and it replaces their previous models. Right now they have hybrid inference, just like GPT-5. It has think and non-think mode in one model, and it is their first step in the agent era. Let's see some more details, and then we will be testing it out inside DeepSeek chat. So, first of all, it's faster thinking, so it's able to reach the answer in less time than their previous R1 model, the updated version. Also, it has stronger agentic capabilities, using post-training tool use and multi-step agentic tasks. They have updated their API and the supports in the API, and also it's able to use tools and agentic mode a lot better than the previous versions. Let's see exactly what happens. So this is DeepSeek-V3.1 versus DeepSeek-V3, the non-thinking model of the past and the thinking model of the past. So it has a significant jump in the software engineering benchmark. It's at 66%, and also a very good jump in the multilingual software engineering benchmark. And also on Terminal Bench, which is for tool usage, it's also significantly better. Here we can see some more comparisons against the previous thinking model. On browser competition, it's beating it. On humanities last exam, it's also doing a lot better. And on deep research and all of the other benchmarks, it's equal or better. So that's a significant jump in performance, and they have reduced the amount of output tokens that this model generates by quite a lot, while also improving the performance. That means better performance at slighter cost, because you are actually paying per tokens of output mostly. So the model update, they just used 840 billion tokens for continued pre-training for long context. And also this is the API costs, which are very, very small, like 0.5 cents per million tokens of input and only $1.68 per million tokens output. Compared to GPT-5, this is nearly 5 times cheaper, which is amazing. And we can test it out right now on chatdeepseek.com. I'm going to use some prompts that I have here, one for building websites, one for a simple game, and one for a more complex game with assets. This one, no model has done perfectly up to now. So let's test out building a Pokemon Pokedex. I'm also going to allow search. If it doesn't work well, I will close search. So let's see what this model can do. So the model starts to think. There is a very high possibility that a lot of people are using this. Of course, we can see here that it's straight to the point. It stops like all of these intermediate thinking things that it did in the past. It's more direct, which is nice to see. Like you can see here a planning step, and we can see it generating the code. It's super, super fast, really amazing, really lovely to see. The tokens per second in output is not that great. It's quite a slow model. And this is obvious due to the compute that they have. They have such old GPUs that, they cannot have fast inference. And this is due to the fact that, NVIDIA cannot export them the high-end GPUs. So we're going to wait for the response. But while we wait, I want to tell you that I have an AI course. It's costing $20. It's on the first link down below in the description. You only pay once. It's a one-time fee. It's hosted on Udemy. It has over 30 hours of material as of the time we speak right now. And it's going to get new updates every single month with new tutorials and new stuff, from AI automations to coding with AI, to new models, to new coding IDEs, and even image, video, music, and sound generation. So I think if you are looking for a cheap course to start learning AI tools and how to leverage them to do whatever you need, I think this is the cheapest and best course in the market right now. The big bonus is that you already have 30 hours of tutorials to get started, which should take you around a month, but also you are getting all of the new updates completely for free after you buy. This is a very cheap way to get started and a very great way for you to support my channel and my work. So let's see what this model can do. Hopefully we will be able to natively run this code inside Chat DeepSeek, but as we can see, it's very, very slow. We gotta give it time. So we will jump to the conclusion so you don't waste any time. And one of the big important things of this model is that it's open source weights, meaning you can find third-party providers that are going to have a lot faster inference, potentially even cheaper inference. You can get, GGFU from Mansloth, so you can run it on your own servers, and that's very, very mega. Also, very, very soon we are going to get the new architecture of DeepSeek, and I expect a big jump in performance very soon. So this response is AI generated for reference only. I'm going to hit the run button and we can actually see a preview. Okay, so this is the preview of the website. We can look it over here, and I would say this is a good response. You can see here the animations, the abilities of each model. I would say the response is nice. I also like how cheap it was for it to put this task out and how little it thought. So with a new GPU, you could get this response in just 5 to 10 seconds, like with a good provider. The response is great. It's not the best response. Let's try to search for bulb. Okay, ID not found. Let's check 0.01, maybe with a hashtag. So yeah, some stuff are not working. I gotta say, in terms of looks, it looks nice. It did exactly what we needed it to do. Not perfect, I have seen better results from other models, but in terms of it being very cheap to use, I would say it's a good response. Not the best one, but a good response. Let's open up a new chat and try out creating a Flappy Bird simple game. I'm going to close search because it probably doesn't need it. To use the thinking model, which is better for coding, just click DeepThink and let's try to create a Flappy Bird game. I really want to see how long it's going to think about creating this task. So I really love the pre-planning phase. It's literally step optimization and prompt optimization. And boom, it begins. Not a lot of thinking, not a lot of unnecessary thinking, just a planning step and boom, straight to the answer. Let's see what it can do. Of course, make sure to drop a subscribe. I'm making loads of videos about AI every single week, and hopefully you can stay up to date with all of the tools and all of the new offerings in this channel. I'm also looking into expanding my NA10 tutorials. I think AI automation is something that is here to stay, and it will only get better from here. Again, this is a new release, a new update to DeepSeek-V3. Nothing major, it's a very small release, but the performance is indeed a lot better than previously. And of course, it's open weights, which is major. Up until now, I think Quen is a lot better. But the only issue with Quen is that it's thinking for a lot longer. So potentially it could cost you more money to run Quen models than this one. But again, we have to understand that Quen is using a lot less active parameters. I think the new DeepSeek model is going to also optimize on that end and also inference. And I'm really excited to see the new models out of DeepSeek. I think they're going to be tremendously better than what we're seeing right now. This is a very small release. And no one says that like this is the best model, the best open source model. No, it's probably Quen 3, the new Quen 3 models. But I really like that they try to emulate GPT, but actually emulate it with a single model, not a router, a single model. This is super important. And I think also the reason that they have a single model hurts them. However, in terms of pre-training and training a single model, it costs a lot less than training multiple models like GPT has done or like Quen is doing. So on the long run, this could be very beneficial to them if they can optimize that, thinking pattern and non-thinking pattern. But let's see. Let's see what the response will be about the Flappy Bird game. I really hope it's a nice response. But as we can see, the online chat version, it's very, very slow. It's like 30 to 50 tokens per second. It's so slow. Even though the model's active parameters are only 40 billion. This is arguably lack of compute. So the UI here is looking absolutely phenomenal. I really like it. It's great. And the game is very, very hard, as pretty much every game created by any model. Any model that I have tested out is making this game harder. I'm going to give it a second prompt and try to see if it can edit the game to make it easier. make the game easier. The bird should drop slower by 2 to 3 times, and the pipes should generate in 3-4x more distance. So we're going to slow down the fall speed, and we're also going to increase the distance between the pipes. So let's see if the model can actually do this. That would be really interesting. Also, the model is preparing, and also you can see its internal thinking, which is super important for companies that want to improve their current models, because they can use DeepSeek to, get some more data, some synthetic data to improve their own models. So I firmly expect that pretty much any model coming out from here on out, it's going to be better than DeepSeek, because they can just train and distill the answers of DeepSeek in their own models, which is nice to see. Like 66% of software engineering benchmark, it's great. And we can say that the UI that it is created from this model is actually good, which is nice to see. I think pretty much web development has been solved, at least front end and a big part of the back end, especially with MCPs, with SUPA-based integrations. You could create websites and web applications in a single week. Of course, nothing major, just 1 to 2 utilities. You can create the whole page, looks beautiful, works, authentication, everything. It's something you can do. I also have created in the past 6 months an application online fully with AI, and it was great. But I think it's time for me to create something new. Let me know down below in the comments if you would like to see me create an application live in this channel. I think it would be amazing and a very big step learning process for you, for me, for everyone. And I think it would be a lovely process. I will go ahead and do like a SaaS, but I'm going to put a turn to it because I'm going to open source it. So you could spin it up on your own computer, put your own API keys and use like the software. That would be insane. And we will have to create a Docker container or whatever, make a simpler, pipeline. But I think it would be an amazing process. And then we can have an online version where I pay for the APIs and you just create an account, you top up some credits and you use it. That would be amazing. Let me know down below in the comments. But the model is really slow. It's so slow. And I would say that it's not yet super agentic, at least on the chat version. It has to rewrite all of the code. So we gotta wait even more and use more credits. But hopefully they will integrate an actual ID soon. That would be nice. Also, the more agentic the models become, the less the hallucination rate, the better the responses. Better context, less hallucinations because they don't regenerate everything. So I think that's very big and very important. Let's check out the response. Let's see if the game will actually become easier. Let's jump to the result. Okay, so it gives us a summarization of what changes it did. Let's see if it actually created these changes and if the game is actually playable right now. So let's hit the run button. Easy Flappy Bird game is the name of the title. It also changed the UI, made it a lot better, gotta say. So the game still is a little hard for me. Maybe I'm a noob, I don't know. But we can see that indeed, I don't know why these games are always so hard. Is it only me? But I see already the pipes are a lot outside, but I would say it's very hard for me to play this game at this point. Maybe it's the resolution, I don't know. I would say that it did the changes it needed to do. The model improved the game, so that's fine with me. Let's try out this create a chess game with GTA characters. That is going to be a very hard request. I really don't expect the model to be able to do this, but let's give it a try. It's obvious that it cannot use search mode while it's deep thinking, because it could fetch the images, but at least it knows the names of the characters. So instead of actually putting the images, it puts the names of the characters on top of each kind of pawn, and it splits them across 2 teams, white and black, which looks nice. And the context is... by the way, I forgot about the context. It's at 128,000 context, which is not very big, but it's big enough for you to do most of the generations. For agentic tasks inside the cursor or an ID, you will probably be totally fine with it. Okay, so the game is ready. Let's run it and we can see here the game. So you can click on one of these blocks to see the information about it. So it's cops versus gangsters. This is the police officer pawn. Interesting. This is a gang member pawn. And you can actually play this. This is the detective, the bishop. And this is the crime boss, queen. So one issue that I have with this is the lack of actual GTA characters. But it's fine with me that it actually tried to create a GTA style game, like gangsters versus, policemen. So that looks nice. I would say that it looks totally fine. And the game is actually working. Let's reset the board, switch sides, new game. Everything is working. Nice, pretty nice. It created actually a chess game. That's pretty insane. So in total, I would say that this model is good. Not the best one, but a good upgrade to the previous model. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comments.